So what I did on Star Wars is I took a lot of old documentary films of air battles from World War II, and I cut them into the sequences of this is going to be the trench run, this is going to be the attack on the
Before you shot
Death Star.
anything?
Before I shot it, before I even finished the script.
Wow.
When I started film school, I was a dyed-in-the-wool cinematic purist. I said, and I went to school, and I had to go into screenwriting, and I got into huge fights in the middle of classes with the screenwriting professor, saying, character is bullshit. Story doesn't mean anything. That's for the theater. That's for books. That's not for cinema. Cinema is the art of the moving image. You are eviscerating this whole art form with your kind of reproducing other mediums and other art forms. So I was really not a real fan of writing, which is ironic that mostly what I do now is write. So when it got to that part of it, I knew that I couldn't write what I wanted. And I knew still drawings couldn't tell me what I wanted because I had to do it in terms of motion. And I knew that the secret behind what I was doing in terms of visual effects, the one thing I grabbed onto was that as opposed to Stanley Kubrick, who has got 1 2-minute shots in his film, where the thing just sits there and the ship sort of slowly cruises. But you can see every detail on that and it's perfect. So I said, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do shots that are only about 12 frames, 32 frames at the most, and it'll move by so fast that you won't see the matte lines, and you won't see how it's put together. It'll just be a razzle-dazzle of visual fantasy.